I'm picking up my conversations with Kurt André about anxiety in the system. And in this segment, I think you're going to find some extremely practical suggestions on how to work managers through having the hard conversation of, yes, we do need to come back eventually, and we actually have to work. So organizations are caught between a rock and a hard place. And the reason is it's their own anxiety opting for either caving in or coming down hard. But there's a middle ground, and Kurt walks us through. So I'll come back at the end and recap our conversation. So let's pick up on the interview.
I think powerlessness is a significant issue right now. And so working with a number of clients that just don't feel like they have control over their setting because of what's going on within the organization. So one of my questions is, well, how could you possibly increase your own influence, and even accountability in a system that feels like things are being done that are beyond your control? I think one of the questions I would have are, what metrics are you using for success? And could it be that there could be a shift in the metrics that you're using around quantifying whether you're doing well in your job? It's interesting too. I think we're dealing with a very unique workforce. I don't know the age of the people you're working with, but I'm seeing the movement of millennials into the workspace, that one of the factors that they're using around job satisfaction is happiness. This job doesn't make me happy. I don't know about you, Rex, but when I'm dealing with a manager and they tell me I want to get better at making my people happy, I tell them that's a waste of time, because your job is not to make people happy. Happy is a personal choice. But it's interesting how it's showing up in the workforce as almost a metric of what people want to experience.
Well, and this whole idea of empathy, showing empathy, on the one hand, being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and have some appreciation for their personal struggles is important. But Edwin Friedman talks about a different kind of empathy, where we begin to lower our standards and kind of go down into the lowest common denominator. And I see some of my managers kind of getting sucked down into trying to make, as you say, make people happy, and they're burning out as a result.
Right. Yeah, I had a coaching session yesterday with a guy who's really frustrated with his team, that they gave them flexibility, telecommute, but now it's like, okay, you guys, we need you to begin coming back. And in bringing them back, they still allowed them some flexibility. But what he's seeing is coming in late, leaving early, taking extended lunches, and they're in an environment where it's pretty important for them to be at their desk. They're distanced, they're masked, they're washing hands, they're doing all the vaccination, they're doing as many protocols, yet he's frustrated with their performance around being responsible and coming in. So what we did is we architect a 6-movement conversation at his next staff meeting. And the first one is around being empathetic to, look, right now, we're in a very difficult space. We still don't know when things are going to come back. We're in a Delta variant. There could be a fifth wave. People dealing with their kids. All the things that make where we are difficult is to empathize with the difficulty of that. And then secondly, an affirmation for how well they're working, that they're showing up, they're doing a great job, that they're actually performing really well. And then the third movement would be, we appreciate the fact that we've had flexibility. That's been wonderful. But the fourth movement is we have corporate expectations. And I know that those expectations are challenging, but we need to align our behavior to those. But it's interesting, I don't know about you, but I'm finding myself having coaching conversations around being empathetic with the strain of the workforce, bringing back some of that elasticity that all of us have on a more normal basis, that elasticity is gone. And so what can we do in leading people into that space where they can lead others, that creates a little bit more elasticity in the stretched rubber bands? I was on a plane last week where this lady went off on another lady, and this one lady's trying to get this lady to calm down. And I finally told this lady, look, you need to leave her alone. You're only making this lady more agitated. And I said that right in front of this lady. I mean, she was screaming, yelling. I mean, it was a Facebook episode that didn't get filmed.
Wow.
And that's happening a lot for the leaders that are thinking about leaving or that are stressed, learning the skill of navigating their own internal angst And even if they're in a leadership position, being able to be that non-anxious presence. I've got my own stuff that's going on, but my people need to experience me as being calm, collected. Hey, we can work through this.
What I really appreciate about what Kurt provides is common sense and simplifies. It's not easy to do, but he gets to the root issues of managing our own anxiety. I think it's absolutely brilliant the way he handles it, and I've watched him do it live. One of my takeaways is managing my own anxiety enough to have the patience to stage and pace the conversation. Bringing people back after 2 years of developing their own routines and their rhythms is uncomfortable, but pacing it the way Kurt did into 6 stages is absolutely brilliant, and he does it seamlessly. When we have a clear understanding of our mission ahead, the business case for what we're doing, the benefits for the employee, then we don't have to get stuck and feel powerless in begging and coaxing or coming down hard. We can take the staged approach that Kurt outlined and maintain our calm presence and just walk people through, not raising their anxiety level that makes us defensive and then reactive and then going to those two bad options of caving in or coming down hard, but staying calm and confident and focused on what we're about and bringing people into it. That's what leadership is. It's making people uncomfortable at a pace they can tolerate. Take care.